because when we got to Garfield, we had a man there by the name of Old Maxie, and he was in charge of the band. And if you played an instrument, Old Maxie would give you the fourth or fifth chair in the band, because the band had about 150, maybe 200 people in. All them guys, man, that blow the top off the roof. Hey, you weren't gonna get their seats. Hey, boy, Quincy and all them guys, Charlie Taylor. Oh man, and it was interesting. But I sat in the fourth chair for about 3 years, and in my last year, I made it to the first chair. So you had to earn the right to be in the band. And as your rights increased, along with your popularity, so then I was older. That I can go to the on the Friday nights, Saturday nights at the Y. They had the dance. And the guys who played for the dances were the guys you went to school with. And then I earned some other rights because those guys were great musicians. They would be playing at Broadmoor, down there, where you had to go through the back gate to get to the job that you were given. Then we go over to Shady Park. People don't know where Shady Park is, but that's over in Bellevue. You just go across the bridge, turn left, and you go down there about 4 miles, and that's Shady Park on the lake. And it was all white. There were 2 or 3 brothers over there, but that was it. But we earned the right to go over there because we were musicians. See, any place you played music, you could go. But if you didn't play it on music or you wasn't carrying somebody's horn, hey, man, you couldn't get through the gate. So those are some of the experiences being at Garfield. And, of course, the greatest part of that experience was becoming a member of the Washington National Guard Band, 41st Division, all black. There was 180 of us. And under Chief Warrant Officer Blackwell. And Blackwell, Bunks, he taught music. He had his own shop down there on Madison and 23rd. And that's where you went and you got your pig feet, pigtail, the food that black people only ate. And that when I went over on 19th, they'd throw those things out because nobody bought them. But now they're gold. So, it was good times. And then as a result of being in the band, there were some payoffs. So some of the payoffs that we earned, again, we had 5 deuces and a half. Those are trucks. And those trucks transported us all over the state of Washington to play in the band, to lead the parade when the community was celebrating something related to that community. I know I never even knew there was a Spokane until I went to Spokane. We rode all day. But we played all afternoon, and then we came back the next day in those deuce and a halves. And I learned where Wenatchee is on the map. They told me in the book, hey, but it didn't make sense. But we went to Wenatchee, and we played music, and in Pasco. And we even get out of the state. We'd go to Portland. So that was a great experience, but you have to pay your dues when you have those kind of experiences. So when they started looking at guys who became of age, now a lot of us put our ages up. That was the other downfall, but it was a good and bad thing. You had to be 17 to be in the band, and I was only 16, but I didn't care. Hey, what they gonna do to me? I guess I could have played on Forging My Name, but hey, what good would that have done? But that gave me an opportunity to go down and take lessons from those guys who were teaching music. And there are a lot of black teachers in those days here, because the majority of them came back. Many of them were stationed out at Sandport, and they were in the Navy Band. And many of them were stationed at Fort Lewis because they were in the Army Band. And they came back when they got out, discharged. This was a good place for them to stay. And said what they wanted to do. They played music for all the dances that went on here. Man, Ella Fitzgerald and all of them people came up in here. And this was one of the stop-offs for them when they would go to Canada to play. Seattle, I think if you really look at the history of music and the West Coast, it was probably the most attractive areas for musicians because of its location and because of who were living here. I think back about the guys, Pops Buford. Man, Pops could blow the top off the roof, but he couldn't read a lick of music. It was all by ear. That he learned all the tunes, and he was in Bumps' band. Bumps had two bands. He had the senior band and the junior band. And the senior band, they played every weekend, and that was extra money, because in those days, man, the Trianon would be full and jumping, and we go down there, we weren't old enough, but we'd go up the back stairs, and they'd let us in. But we had to sit in the corner, be cool, couldn't go out there, mixing with all them people who were paying the money to come in the front door. Okay, the Black and Tan. Oh man, I remember those places like back of my hand. But we had learned because we were well disciplined, and the people who ran those places, they knew us. And whenever we'd come up the back stairs and sit in the dark corner to listen to the cats who were playing good music, they trusted us. The only time we'd have any problems, some of those places were illegal. All right? So what happened? I mean, the man would come in there and bust them. Everybody would be brought outside, and they'd take the name, rank, serial number, and date of birth. But we go down the other way, down the back stairs, and we'd be out and gone by the time they processed all those people. But that was a way of life in Seattle at the time.